Hi, gang. My last two readings were admittedly pretty wonky, one of which I didn't even post, and in fact, I didn't even finish it because basically in the middle of a sentence, the cards were so confusing. I couldn't make sense of it from what I had seen so far in the reading, so I just stopped. And I didn't post that one, obviously. I did post the new moon reading that I did, but I feel like it was really not very clear. I think that I made some misinterpretation of some of the cards, and I think I'm going to try and just start over again. If there's one thing that I learned 25 years in the medical field, the moon most definitely affects people's energy. However, it seems like a lot of people are really focused on the full moon. We know when there's a full moon, the medical field says, oh my God, it's a full moon. But quite honestly, I would take the full moon any day over the new moon. The full moon energy gets a little frantic, a little crazy, and things get busy. So I can see how, hospital workers and such would dread the full moon. And I have seen that energy myself. But working in a doctor's office, when the new moon rolled around, the sky got dark, people's brains get dark, their moods get dark, and I admittedly kind of get dark right along with them. I feel like my brain does not click on all cylinders, and I feel like that's kind of what happened in my last couple of readings, both the one that I aborted and the one that I went ahead and uploaded. I think there were some good messages in the last video that I did, but again, I don't feel like it was very clear. I don't feel like it was very certain, or just I feel like a lot of it was confusing. So today I want to try again, and I am going to ground as much as I possibly can. I'm hoping that we're far enough past the new moon energy, although we're still probably within the 3 days, one before and one after. I think we might be one day past that. But I'm just going to see if I can get as grounded as I possibly can. I've got my root chakra colored and earth tone mug to ground me. I've got tea that plays on all of the lower chakras. I've got lots of cinnamon. I've got some cinnamon incense burning. I've got some green tea incense burning. I've got, I'm bringing in as much earth element as I can here. So, and I'm also going to bring that in with the choices today. So we'll go over the choices here in just a minute. But first I wanted to go over kind of the basics that I usually talk about. I don't read reversed cards in my readings, which doesn't mean that there won't ever be a time that I do, but right now I don't intend to read reversed cards in these readings today. I also will link a timestamp for each of the various groups in the description of the video. So when you listen to this, if you pick a particular group that you would like to listen to, you don't have to go through the whole video if you don't want to. You don't even have to scrub toward it. Just look down in the description for the video and there will be timestamps. Just click on that timestamp and it will take you directly to that point in the video so you can listen to just your reading. And certainly if you want to listen to the entire video, that's fine. If you want to listen to more than one reading, also fine. But if you just want to listen to the one, that will help you out there. So the other thing is, I would absolutely be grateful for anyone who wants to subscribe to my channel, anyone who wants to like this video, leave comments. If you do want to subscribe and you want to get notifications when I do add a new video, hopefully a video that makes more sense than the last one, click the bell button. And all of those things really help for me to get some visibility so that I can get a message out to people who need that. So I greatly appreciate that if you feel inclined to do any of those things. So today, the question that we're going to look at today paying homage to the recent new moon energy and my brain deadedness, we're going to be looking at the question, what is clouding your vision and how can you clear it? So what is clouding your vision and how can you clear that? And the groups that we have today, also I at the end of each of my readings, I pull ahead of time. I intuitively pull an oracle card, generally, for each of the groups, and then that will close out each reading with its respective oracle card. Today, I have pulled 2 cards for each reading. I've got a card from the Wild Tarot, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, which is more of an oracle deck, although it's not entirely that either, but it is a spirit animal deck. And I suppose perhaps I may have chosen that one because for the first time in my life, yesterday, driving to my work, we live out in the country and I was on a gravel road, and a bobcat went sprinting right in front of my car and ran across the road and disappeared into one of the farm fields. Which was really cool. I've never seen a bobcat in the wild before, and it was beautiful. Very powerful, very fast animal. So that was really very exciting. So I guess maybe to pay tribute to that, I'm going to use the Animal Spirit deck. In addition to that, we've had coyotes howling every night for the last 3 or 4 nights at least. Some geese. Flocks of geese are flying over a lot and making a lot of noise, and I like to have my windows open, so it's been kind of fun having sort of this animal element in the readings as well. The other cards that I have pulled ahead of time are the Crystal Ally Cards Evolution Edition. And obviously, you know, crystals are a big part of my life. I have the crystals here for each of the groups. In addition to that, I've got some Super 7 that I have here with me. I've got a Shungite Merkaba and a Shungite Cube to kind of protect some EMF energy. I've got selenite virtually everywhere, so and a salt lamp in every corner of the room. So I do love crystals, so I wanted to pull one of the Crystal Ally cards as well. I love these cards. They have some amazing messages. I will be reading from the guidebook for these messages. The Crystal Ally cards are, again, just beautiful pictures, beautiful messages, but there is a ton of them in the deck, and I'm not entirely familiar with all of the stones. Most of them I know fairly well. But again, so I'll just be reading from the guidebook on those and see how those line up with our readings. So group 1 is Smoky Quartz. It is a Smoky Quartz cluster with a big old chunky point here, and then a couple of smaller points over on the side. So Smoky Quartz for group 1. And then for group 2, we have got Hematite Quartz cluster. Lots of small points on this one. Hematite, very, very grounding, very solid, very earthy. So group 2 is Hematite Quartz cluster. Group 3 is many people's favorite black Tourmaline. Extremely protective, very good at transmuting negative energy, and also very grounding. So group 3 is black Tourmaline. So that's the choices for the groups today, the 3 readings we'll be doing. Take some time, feel into the energy of those 3 groups, into the energy of those cards, and go ahead and pick whichever one calls to you, and we'll get started. Okay, so this is the reading for Group 1, the Smoky Quartz cluster. Our question again today is, what is clouding your vision, and how can you clear it? In addition to the fact that I'm trying to work through some of this new moon dull thinking, which obviously still has not completely let go, having trouble finding words, but I have intuitively chosen some decks that can be kind of tricky to interpret. So apparently I'm up for a challenge today. So I feel like we need to start with this deck. This is the there we go. The Deviant Moon Tarot, and we're starting out with the Devil on the bottom of the deck. Okay, well, that may be a card for me rather than for you. So let's see what we got here. Okay, Spirit, for Group 1, what is clouding their vision right now, and how can they clear it? Some guidance, please, on Group 1. What is clouding their vision, and how can they clear it? Okay. All right. So to begin with, we have gotten the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Swords. So I believe that this message is saying somehow that your intuition is clouded. It could very well be that you are not well grounded. The Ace of Swords would lead me to believe in this particular context that your head is kind of in the clouds. And the Queen of Pentacles is saying, you know, queens are known for their intuition, but pentacles are also known for their groundedness. So I think that right now, not utilizing your intuition, it could be what is clouding your vision right now. You're not seeing things because you're not listening to your gut. You're not being grounded, and you are just really kind of you're in your head, you're daydreaming, you are perhaps too much in the future, worrying about things, ruminating about things. So that's, I think, where we're going to start with this. So, Spirit, if you could give us some more information, more guidance for Group 1 on what it is that's clouding their vision. If we could look at what is clouding their vision right now. What is inhibiting them from seeing clearly? Okay, well, this is a lot of major arcana right here. All right. So if we go first with the minor arcana that came up, we've got the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is speaking of something that you're not seeing, or someone who is not telling you the truth. There's something going on that you are not getting a clear picture of. The Page of Wands. Page of Wands is the Page of Wands is moving forward, but on thin ice. And this is speaking of a really precarious place right now. Not only is he on the ice, but he's on stilts. So you may be on some pretty unsteady ground. You know, going back to this being too much in your head, you may be stressed about things. You might be overthinking. You might just be flat out afraid. There might be something really fearful that is coming, that's in your head, that's bothering you. You're thinking too hard about it, and you're not listening to your gut. You're not listening to this high priestess. You're not listening to your intuition. There's a choice that feels better than the other choices, but you're not listening to it. You are, you're just kind of dangling in the wind, feeling frightened and uncertain. So all of the rest of the cards that you got here are incredibly powerful cards. All of these cards speak of just really a great deal of power in various ways. You got the Chariot. The Chariot is about being on your path or moving on your path, but in a very steady and grounded way. This particular card is, anyway. It's talking about moving forward and being solid in your path. I mean, being solid in that movement. It's not like you're maybe going to be going somewhere. You are. You're definitely on the path. You're on your way. And there's no questioning that. You also got the Magician, which is an incredibly powerful card. This card is saying that you have got all of the resources and abilities to basically do whatever it is that you need to do. The Magician is able to wield any sort of energy that presents itself, or that he needs. They can wield, spiritual energy. They can wield earth energy. They're grounded. They're connected to spirit. They are the card in the deck that basically brings it all together at the start of things in order to create something. So this is a huge card about creating and having the ability to create, and being on the right path. The Sun card also came out. The Sun is a card of happiness, of warmth, of fulfillment. This energy feels very abundant. This energy feels just very nurturing, in a very material way, in a very creative way. Not so much, like a motherly way, but it feels like your existence, your world, nurtures you. And then the other card that came out is the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant talks of some rules and guidelines isn't really a strong enough word. The Hierophant speaks of institutions, or it talks about established procedures. It talks about established rules, and it is somebody who can move within those rules and wield those social constraints, or not constraints so much, but it's like the way that our society is built. There are certain things that are going to move you ahead and certain things that are going to hold you back. The Hierophant is extremely skilled in knowing which things are going to move you forward in society. In fact, the Hierophant may very well have made those rules. So, this speaks of having a lot of of being able to wield a lot of power. And that doesn't necessarily mean power over other people, but it means you have abilities and authorities, and you are just really skilled in working within the rules or the mission statement or the, however something is built for success. You know how to manipulate that energy best so that you can be successful along with it, and also make things around you successful. So this is this is saying that you have you've got all the skills, you've got all the power, you have the knowledge to travel your path and be extremely happy. But again, going back to what is clouding your vision, you're overthinking this, and you may be either deceiving yourself, or someone may be deceiving you, and you are I think you're putting yourself kind of in a position where you don't feel safe. So, this Ace of Swords energy can be a good thing. It can be someone who's clever, who has a lot of great ideas. But if you get too wrapped up with this, and you don't trust in it, you don't believe in it, you don't trust your intuition, then it becomes something that is a detriment more so than it is a help. So let's get another deck here. And against my better judgment, I'm feeling like we need to use the Thoth deck. So with this block that group 1 has, how specifically, what can they do to clear this block? What is their best direction to take to move forward, to see things clearly, and to be able to get past this feeling like they don't have all the information, or that they are in unsafe territory? How do they get past that? What's the best bet for them to realize all of this great energy down here at the bottom, with all of the success and being able to make their life and their world be very successful and abundant and happy? So, Spirit, if you could give us some information, some guidance, please, on how best group 1 can clear this block, this uncertainty, whatever it is that's clouding their vision, please. Don't want the whole deck. This could be my apprehension at using these cards that's keeping them from coming forward. So Spirit, if you could please give us some guidance for group 1 on how to clear the block that they have, that they may have to seeing their situation clearly. Okay. Let's see what I clumsily got out of here. Okay, so we got some repeated cards. We got the Ace of Swords again. However, in this card, This has now been turned around to a wonderful beginning for you. It is just the liberation of a lot of upward light energy for you. So I think that in clearing out this this possible feeling of not trusting your visions, not trusting your intuition, you can, once you can get past that, your ideas are going to soar. They're going to be great, very helpful. Again, we got the Chariot, so confirming that you are definitely on the right path. You're going the right direction. So don't give up on that. Don't doubt it. And then we got a lot of Cups energy. We got the Queen of Cups. We got the Ace of Cups. And we got the Nine of Cups. So the Ace and the Queen of Cups are basically kind of bounding the suit of Cups. The suit of Cups is about your emotions. And the Ace and the Queen, the only card in this suit that's higher than the Queen would be the King. But the Cups energy speaks of a very feminine energy, a very intuitive energy, a very emotional energy. So really, for my money, the Queen of Cups is actually more representative of the pinnacle of emotion, of Cups, of emotional happiness. So, you know, I think that this combination here is telling you that in order to move past this block of doubt and uncertainty and not trusting yourself, you need to be emotionally all in. You need to believe that you are capable of these things, and you need to believe that you're on the path to your happiness, and you need to stop doubting your ideas, because obviously, you know, your ideas have great potential to be something just amazing and beautiful. The Chariot, again, not only does it speak of being on the right path, but it speaks of movement. You know, you don't want to just be standing on the path. That doesn't get you anything, and you might end up getting run over when this Chariot comes by. So you want to actually be moving along that path. And really, the Chariot speaks of moving along a path oftentimes very quickly, you know. So once you remove this block of doubting yourself, you could very well move forward just very quickly. The other card that we got, which I'm a little confused by, is the Nine of Swords. And it's a card that speaks of cruelty, and it's a card that speaks of suffering. I mean, serious suffering. So I don't know if this card is saying that by doubting yourself, you're creating a lot of suffering, or if there's something in your past that is blocking you because of some past suffering that you had. So let's get some more clarification on this card. So Spirit, if you could please give us some additional confirmation on the Nine of Swords, please. Confirmation on the Nine of Swords, or excuse me, clarification of the Nine of Swords, so that we can let Group 1 know what it is that this is speaking of, what it's talking about. Okay, so with that, we got the Queen of Discs, which is the Queen of Pentacles, and we got the Hermit card. So these two cards, the Hermit in particular speaks of going inward and introspection, and perhaps shutting yourself off. You know, in the negative sense, it might speak of shutting yourself away from other people, shutting yourself off from society, being cut off. So with regard to the Nine of Swords, I'm wondering if you feel like you have been kind of shunned from something in your life, from likely interaction with other people. Maybe you have been, you know, shut down in your job because of some idea that you put forth that people didn't receive very well. Maybe you have been ostracized from a group because of something that they did that you don't agree with. Or, you know, I don't know what exactly that could speak to, but it definitely talks about, I think, being disconnected from a support system, disconnected from what you're used to being connected to, what has provided you with support and motivation and encouragement in the past somehow has gotten disconnected, and it's really making you suffer. It is really affecting your sense of stability, of security. It's making you feel like, you know, maybe you don't want to put any ideas out there because you might get shot down again, and it really, really knocked the pins out from under you when that happened before. But I think that this Queen of Discs, again, we're looking at queens, and queens have a great deal to do with intuition. They use their intuition to be powerful, but also to be supportive to their people. And the Queen of Discs or Pentacles is going to speak of being solid and being grounded. Pentacles are very, very earthy energy. So I think that with this, with whatever this was that caused you to, you know, be cut off, to go inward, to be afraid, to suffer, you know, I think that this is saying, get yourself grounded. Fear and anxiety and sadness are all things that kind of live in our heads as much as in our bodies. Oftentimes more in our heads, especially if it was kind of an isolated event that probably everyone else has moved on from. But it was such an extremely unexpected reaction, perhaps, when whatever this was happened to you, that it really, really caused you some instability. It caused you to feel like you just weren't sure which direction you could go safely anymore. You know, it was maybe something that you thought would be well received, and it just was quite the opposite of that. And it's like you don't know if you can trust yourself anymore because you were so wrong. You know, you feel like you were just so wrong about what you thought was going to be okay, and it just wasn't. So here, you know, there's this sense of not getting all the information or being deceived. So perhaps, you know, you kind of deceived yourself, or others deceived you because you expected them to react a certain way, and they reacted totally the opposite. And so that made you very, very uncertain, very wary, you know, suffering a great deal. So you need to get yourself back grounded again. You need to I don't want to say, I'm hearing in my head, you need to get over it. And that seems harsh, and that's not at all how I want that to come out. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing energy. She is a very wise energy, but she is very grounded. You know, she's the type that she makes a beautiful home for herself, and she's never going to leave it. But it's a wonderful place, and everybody wants to come to her. So, you know, by opening your intuition back up again, and actually, now that I look down, we've got the Queen of Pentacles twice. So, you know, this is really, really saying, get grounded, be solid, listen to your intuition, trust yourself again. Trust yourself again. That, you know, that's a huge message here. You need to trust yourself again. You know, it was perhaps one isolated incident that knocked you off your feet. It's over with. There may be some hard feelings, but more likely there's not. And you have still got this potential. So, you know, maybe tweak your idea, get it back out there again, or try something completely different that you've got in your head too. You've got you have all of these capabilities. You are a solid person with a lot of skills, a lot of talents. You're on the right path to creating your happiness. You just had kind of a setback, and that's what's been clouding your vision. You're looking at this whatever the setback was, as it was like a huge deal that just is ruining your life, and everyone thinks less of you because of it. But that's not true. That is absolutely not true. That's, that's just a story that is made up in your head that's making you feel really precarious. So let's see, can we get some final messages for group 1, please, Spirit? Final messages that they need to hear with regard to what is clouding their vision and how to clear that so they can move forward confidently. Okay. All right. So we got the Queen of Swords this time. So before, we had the Ace of Swords twice. We had the Ace of Swords here, and were concerns that there was, you were getting in your head too much. We had the Ace of Swords here, which was saying, know that you've got great ideas that could be the start of something wonderful. And now we've got the Queen of Swords, and this is again saying, again, we're back to Queens. We've got intuition here, and Swords is ideas and communication. And so I think the Queen of Swords is saying that yes, you have got great ideas. You can just master those ideas and make them into something wonderful, but with intuition. You've got to start trusting yourself. Don't second guess yourself because of this, whatever this incident was in the past. You have got great intuition. You have great ideas, and you can put those together and be extremely successful, extremely powerful, if you just trust that intuition. We've got the Six of Pentacles. Oh, this deck is kind of hard to interpret sometimes. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles, I think that this is again telling us that the Six of Pentacles, I think that this one is saying that yes, you are grounded, or you have the potential to be grounded, but I think that this is saying that you're kind of holding back. You're kind of locked up, and you're not utilizing, it's almost like you're kind of waiting or just putting stuff aside right now. So maybe this is, talking about the ideas that you have, although Pentacles does not really speak of ideas, but I think that this is talking about, kind of your abundance. You're putting it on hold, you're putting it on the back burner. You're not really moving out there. Yeah, I think you're stuck a little bit right now. So, I think that this wants you to get a little unstuck. Queen of Cups. I feel like, I don't remember if we had the Queen before. Yes, we did. We had the Queen of Cups before. So again, this is saying, be happy. Make your emotions more positive. Don't linger in that doubt. Don't linger in that anxiety, that depression, that suffering. Don't. Be happy. Find something that makes you happy and focus on that. And that's going to take you a long way to solving this issue, which I think basically is just as much in your head as anything else. And this could be speaking to that, the Judgment card. So you might be passing a harsh judgment on yourself that is not necessarily a valid judgment. You could be passing a harsh judgment that is blown out of proportion. And this, the Eight of Pentacles, I think is telling you to kind of sweep all that out, and actually, utilize this. This is good, solid energy that is going to allow you to just be. This is going to allow you to make a place that feels good, that feels fresh, that feels solid, that feels like it's a place you want to be. It's an energy you want to be in. So, you know, it's kind of overshadowing this judgment. And I think that you can kind of turn this judgment around so that it's more saying that you can use good judgment if you sweep out all of this this doubt and this uncertainty that is it's not solid. It's that, you know, that's precarious. It's made up. It's not the real situation. It's being blown out of proportion. It's kind of imaginary. It's becoming a bit of a, you know, a prison in your head that is just progressively getting worse and worse, and causing you more and more anxiety here, and causing you to withdraw more and more. But everything else about this reading pretty much is saying that, you know, you have got this good solid energy, you have great intuition, you've got the tools, you've got the ability, you're on the path, and you're you know, you could be just moving forward without much difficulty at all. You just kind of need to clear out some of this hesitation and this rumination about whatever it was that caused this to start in the first place. So let's take a look at our oracle cards and see what we got to kind of finish up the reading here. The first one that we got is in the Crystal Ally cards. It's Spinel, and the card says Hope. So I'm not too terribly familiar with Spinel, so let's read in the book what this one is telling us. It's always a little tricky to find these in the book, but give me a minute here and I'll see if I can track it down. Sorry, there's about a bazillion different ones in here and they don't have them numbered. Here we go. Okay, so Spinel says, Spinel is a stone of hope, elevating the emotions and assisting in overcoming depressive or negative thoughts and energies. So, perfect. Its magnesium content allows for the release of old emotional wounds and baggage, while its aluminum and oxygen elements stimulate new ways of looking at the world and life situations. So, there you go. You know, let go of the negative emotions and look at things in a different light. A more positive light. And that will clear away this cloud that we have of your vision and illuminate your path. So, okay, so the animal spirit card that we got is Unicorn, which, you know, is kind of a mystical animal, which is extremely positive. So let's see what the book says about the unicorn. I think we have a pretty good idea of what unicorn kind of stands for, but let's see what the book says about it. Wow, I really was making myself a challenge here. This book also is difficult to track things down. Okay, so unicorn says, reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. Did they ever exist? Perhaps long, long ago. The mind answers maybe, or it could be, or no way. This very contemplation explains our relationship with divinity and encapsulates our wavering belief in the unicorn. We wonder what divinity is. We wonder where our intuition comes from and if we can really trust it. We think about a higher power and our mind hesitates between yes, no, and maybe. Is it male or female? Does it have a name? Is it just a feeling? The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for answers. And so I'm glad that this card came out, because what this card is basically saying is that we don't know what intuition really is. We don't know necessarily what that higher connection is. So, you know, in this reading, I use the term intuition, toss it out there pretty easily. But, you know, this is saying that we maybe don't quite understand what intuition is. And I think that most of us don't know exactly what intuition is. We have you know, a lot of us have an idea, and some of us have a better grasp than others. But, you know, how do we capture that intuition? So, you know, I'm kind of glad that this card came out. And the best way that I have found to capture your intuition, especially when your issue is that you're too much in your head, is whenever you start to think too hard about something, to worry too much about something, to just be in your head so much and not in your body. Stop and kind of do a body scan. Start at the top of your head or wherever you feel comfortable starting, and just feel into your body and see where you feel something. It might be tightness, it might be pain, it might be tingling, it might be, you know, sort of a fluttering in your stomach. It doesn't have to be bad, it doesn't have to be good, but stop and feel what your body is feeling. That'll get you out of your head, number one. And number two, it can also give us clues as to how we can address whatever it is that's going on in our bodies that's making us maybe feel a certain way. Based on, you know, chakras. If you've got a headache, then you're probably in your head too much. If you've got, you know, tightness in your chest, maybe you need to show yourself a little bit of love. If you have, you know, kind of a gut ache, if you've got a low gut ache, your gut's rumbling around, maybe you need to step away from work for a while and draw or paint or dance or something, you know, creative. If your hips are just hurting and you feel just really heavy and tired, maybe you need to get grounded. Maybe you need to get out in nature and walk, or maybe you need to just sit for a moment, close your eyes and envision roots growing out the bottom of your feet into the earth. Or maybe if you don't have time to do any of that, or if you're not good at visualizing, just squat down and get close to the earth. Feel your body be heavier. So, you know, that's something that you can do to kind of kickstart your intuition a little bit. That isn't necessarily in and of itself intuition. That's kind of more of a mindfulness practice. But the more mindful we get, the more we can feel into our body and do it quickly. The more we will feel when our intuition, which is kind of that, you know, like there's just like a flash that says, oh, I should do this. And then, of course, our brain jumps in and says, no, you should go this way. So, you know, the more we feel into our body, the more we can feel that initial, hey. And that's kind of our intuition. So that's kind of what you need to do to be able to tap into intuition more so than tapping into what you're thinking about. So hopefully all of this helps. If it resonates for you, please, I would love to hear a comment. If you are enjoying my channel and you have not already done so, please subscribe. I would be just very happy if you would like to do that. I am so happy to be here with you. And I am hoping that your life is going well. You have happiness, you have love, and I am sending all that to you as well. So thank you for being here. Okay, so this is the reading for group 2. And again, we are asking Spirit for some guidance with regard to what it is that's clouding your vision right now and what you can do to clear that, to be able to see clearly what it is you need to see. So this is group 2, the Hematite Quartz group. So Spirit, for group 2, can you give us some messages on what is clouding their vision right now? What is keeping them from seeing what they need to see? Okay, so we got the Ace of Swords, the Star, and the Queen of Cups. So I think that since we were asking about what is clouding your vision right now, and we got the Ace of Swords and the Star card, I feel like perhaps you are a bit ungrounded. Maybe you are sort of caught up in daydreams. And with the Queen of Cups, talks about emotion and intuition. Queen of Cups is a very kind individual, but she is also very powerful, and not powerful in the sense that, you know, she rules with an iron fist, but she is she's just a very strong individual. She's again, she's kind, she's loving, but she's the queen. I feel like you may be enjoying being in your head, enjoying just kind of daydreaming and not really getting down to any sort of business. I just feel like you might be a little too happy to just drift along and be just thinking about things that you enjoy but not actually doing anything. So let's see if we can get some more cards on that. Spirit, can you give us some clarification on these cards, please? What is it that group number 2, what is it that's clouding their vision? What is it that is clouding group number 2's vision right now? What is it that's keeping them from seeing what it is they need to see? You know, and it could be that you're kind of looking at everything through rose-colored glasses as well. So you may be not seeing something that you need to be seeing. Maybe you're not seeing a situation clearly. You know, maybe you're painting a rosy picture of something that maybe is not as wonderful as it might appear on the face of it. Okay, so we got the Ace of Wands and we got the 10 of Wands. So the Ace of Wands talks about action and fast action and young action and excited action. And the Ten of Wands, kind of deals with being very creative, perhaps very passionate. So I'm kind of wondering, with this other energy that we have here, if maybe this is, also saying that you might be indulging perhaps too much in what feels good but doesn't have a lot of substance to it. And along those lines, adding to that energy is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is he is very solid. He's protective, but he's not flashy, and he's not someone who rushes in. So I'm wondering if this is sort of in contrast to all of this energy, which is maybe you're having a really good time, but you're not really balancing that out with, or perhaps it's just really out of balance. All of these cards might be saying that you are focusing too much on pleasure, like immediate pleasure, and not enough on being solid and being having a solid foundation, and being in a place that is sustainable and strong, because when all of this goes away, if you don't have enough of this, you're going to find yourself falling back into kind of a bad place. So, I think that what might be clouding your vision right now is that you're not paying enough attention to building yourself a foundation, not paying enough attention to the long term, to, what you're going to need on down the road if times get leaner, or, if there's not the opportunity to, even if there is the opportunity to be going out and having fun all the time, that's certainly not going to be what you need as time moves forward to be abundant, to be, I hate using the word solid over and over again, but basically, that's just kind of what this is talking about. If you spend all of your time just out playing, then when winter rolls around, you've got no food. You need to take some time to do the work and not just the play. Yeah. So we got, to confirm some of this, we got the Hierophant, and we got the Hermit, and we got Judgment. All of these speak of taking responsibility, basically. The Judgment can speak of using good judgment. You've got, maybe you're presented with a choice. You can continue to be or to act sort of frivolously, or you can balance that out. And the Judgment card is also a lot about balance, with some more mature kind of salt of the earth, putting in the work type of energy. The Hierophant talks about somebody who is very powerful. They're a teacher. They are there's someone who is an authority that people can go to, that people trust, that people respect. But there's somebody this is someone who's put in a lot of work. This is someone who continues to put in a lot of work. This is someone who's very responsible. This is someone who is available when someone needs guidance. This individual is really all about leading and teaching and guidance. So again, that's kind of more of a solid, you need to have a foundation. You need to not just be doing all of these appearance-oriented and frivolous and in the moment kind of things. And then the hermit talks about, going in and understanding your inner landscape, understanding who you are, understanding what's your place in the world, knowing yourself. So a lot of these things here, this energy here of partying and being in the moment and not in the moment, but just living for excitement, really precludes being able to do this. When you're always after the next exciting fix, you are giving yourself, you're providing yourself distractions constantly, and so you don't have to learn who you really are. You don't have to look at the dark places. You don't have to see what it is that you maybe need to work on. So the hermit is saying you kind of need to step away from some of this distraction that you're focused on now, and do some of the work. Find out who you are, how you can be solid, and if you need help to do that, then look to somebody who is maybe an authority figure for you, or somebody who's a teacher, somebody who's a mentor. Seek out someone who can help you kind of get grounded, get more grounded, get more solid, and more comfortable being with yourself. So we've got this energy, which is fast and furious and in the drama and living for the moment. And then we've got this energy here, which is, go within yourself, get some substance, know who you are. You have more to you than just being in a crowd, having a good time. There's so much more to life, and especially as we move further into our life, as we get more mature and we age a little bit, this kind of loses its glitter oftentimes because the people that are in this scene drop away. They find themselves. They are starting to employ some of this energy for themselves, and so this energy here, this that you're using to entertain yourself, to give yourself maybe even a sense of worth, is going to get thinner and thinner and thinner and go away, and it's going to be less and less satisfying to be in this energy and more satisfying to be here. So Spirit, can you give us some more messages on how can group 2 move forward and clear this block? How can they move forward with this to a better place? Okay. Okay. All right. So we have some interesting cards here. So as far as moving forward with this, we got the Ten of Cups. Was, I believe, the first card that came out. The Ten of Cups is all about getting to a place in your life that is very fulfilled, very abundant, very happy, very loving. It typically speaks of, you know, having a family, and, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean a traditional family, but it means being in a family group, a permanent group, a group that's going to be supportive of you no matter what, a group that's going to be with you, something that you're very proud of. So, you know, again, it's talking about becoming something with more substance. Put down some roots. Find this tribe, you know, whether it be getting married and settling down and having a traditional family, or perhaps it means, you know, just finding a tribe of like-minded individuals who are focused on bettering each other as well as themselves. You know, find those people. We also got the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man can speak of making sacrifices to get to a better place, and trusting that that's going to be, trusting that that will happen, that can happen. But you've got to, you may have to, it may be a time of being patient. It may be a time of overcoming some, you know, you may have a desire to continue with this sort of frivolous lifestyle, and it might be hard not to. It might be really difficult to rein it in. You know, if this is like going out every night to have fun, because that takes your mind off of whatever it is you need to take your mind off of, stopping that and trying to, you know, do something more soul enriching might feel really tough at first, but you need to trust and be patient and believe that that's going to, it's going to pay off in the long run. It's going to pay off with this. You know, this is like an incredible card of happiness here. So not only is it, you know, a solid, in fact, beyond it being a solid family energy, it is just, it absolutely is happiness. This card talks about, you know, whatever is in your life, everything in your life makes you just tremendously happy. So, you know, make this sacrifice, be patient, go along with it, be solid, and you will get to this place of happiness. Now, we also got, well, we got the Strength card as well. And so this card is also talking about, you know, how it may take you calling in some inner strength to be able to get past this. I'm almost surprised we haven't seen the Devil card yet, because this almost seems like it's almost an addiction kind of a thing. But you have this inner strength, you have this inner fortitude, you can pull it in, and it will help you get through this transition period. We've got the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a very, very solid, loving, strong woman. She has, she's kind of the quintessential, I'm sorry, let me back up here. She is a very powerful woman. She is very intuitive. She is very creative, and she's very passionate. She is a very strong and independent woman. So, you know, I think that this is saying that by employing, and also queens are all about intuition. So by calling in your intuition and knowing yourself and bringing in some of this inner strength, you're going to create a true sense of passion and love in your life. So, I think that sometimes the drawback, it seems like, of leaving this exciting energy up here, and what calls you to that energy oftentimes is that you want to have this, you feel like if you don't go out and do that, you'll be depressed, you won't have any fun, you won't be, you won't feel anything exciting. But this Queen of Wands is like the real deal. This isn't just going out for the night and then coming home and dropping into bed and then doing it all over again tomorrow. That's not sustainable. But this card, this is passion. This is creativity. This is fire. This is the real thing. I mean, she embodies that. It's not something that she goes out and finds. She's got it. So this is the place that you can get to by employing this inner strength and this these inner abilities that you have within you, but you are kind of hiding them. The Page of Swords. I'm a little bit mystified by this one. I think that this is talking about some maybe some sort of immature ideas that you are kind of stuck on right now. And so I think maybe this is talking about, again, what is sort of clouding your vision. Maybe you have the idea that if you don't go out and have fun, your life's just going to be awful and you're going to hate it. And that maybe you also have the idea that taking the time to get to know yourself and really going inward is going to be scary or terrible or stupid or whatever. But I feel like maybe this Page of Swords has just kind of talking about some immature ideas that you've got in your head right now that maybe need to be let go of. So let's see. Spirit, can you give us maybe some final messages here to kind of help tie up this energy for group 2? What else can you tell us here, Spirit, for group 2? Group 2, some final messages for group 2. Final messages, please, Spirit, for group 2. Maybe get 1 or 2 more cards for us, Spirit, for some final messages for group 2. No, not the entire deck. That doesn't help. So sorry. Okay, we're going to go with that. So some final messages for group 2 here. Okay. So we again got the Hermit. So this is really wanting you to go inside, go have some introspection, maybe do some meditation, maybe even just do some journaling, whatever feels best to you to kind of get inside your own head, get inside your own heart, even more importantly. And we got the Justice card. So justice is about kind of balancing things out. So I think that, a final message is that you don't have to completely give up going out and having fun necessarily, but it needs to be balanced which I think we saw earlier too. I think we talked about balancing this earlier with a couple of different some other cards. So, you know, I think that what is kind of clouding your vision right now is just living in this in the moment energy, and it's kind of extreme in your life perhaps, and you need to get to know yourself better, and believe that you're going to like yourself. And the more you like yourself, the more you know yourself, the more you can find this real passion. You find that person inside, you nurture that person inside, and you begin to live that person inside very authentically. And you're going to find that you really like this person. You really, really like this individual. She is pretty amazing, or he is pretty amazing. So let's take a look at our oracle cards here and see what we got to finish up our reading. Okay, so the crystal ally card that we got is not a crystal card at all. It's one of the suits here, and it is the card of fire. So fire is going to take us back to this Queen of Wands. You have an internal fire. You are an individual who can not only transform yourself, but you can transform those around you. That's what fire does. That's what volcanic fire in particular does for crystals. It can melt earth and make it into something absolutely spectacular and special. And you have this energy, if you can find it within yourself, if you can step away from all of the superficial stuff and really find what's inside of you, you have got like this amazing energy. I mean, this is one of the strongest cards I think I've ever seen. So you really, really need to do this because you're an amazing individual. You are an amazing individual. Let me see what it says here in the book about the fire card. Wow, that was not what I expected. Okay, so the fire card says the element of fire is an intensely powerful ally to call upon when you require extreme cleansing, creativity, and change. So, you know, this card is also speaking to the fact that if you're really stuck in this cycle of, you know, doing things superficially, call on fire, call on that inner fire. Fire dwells within the heart of the earth and displays its mighty force in its ability to turn solid rock into molten lava. Its powers of destruction feed the cycle of rebirth and life, as exemplified in the legends of the phoenix and the dragon. The legend of the phoenix tells of a great bird of incredible beauty that is said to live 500 years. At the end of its life, the phoenix would burst into flames and be consumed. From its ashes, the spirit of the phoenix would fashion a new body and be reborn into another life cycle with the beauty and purity of youth restored. This legend speaks of fire's power of transformation. So, you know, this is saying go through this, do this transformation, doing this inner transformation, and you are going to be reborn into just an amazing power. Just you have this amazing crystal and beauty inside of you. So you need to go find it. Let's see what the spirit animal card that we got. Okay, so we got the vulture. And I know that looking at the vulture, most people would go, ew, they eat dead things. But the vulture is a symbol of cleansing and of rebirth. The vulture, they clear away things that are no longer needed, that are no longer useful, that are no longer healthy. And not only do they do this, but the vultures actually have a behavior. They get together, a group of vultures in the morning, and they spread their wings out to the full extent of their wings, and they stand in the sun to purify their feathers, to kill off any bad bacteria and they basically bathe in the sun to rejuvenate their energy and to cleanse themselves. It's an amazing, beautiful thing. So let's see what the guidebook has to say about the vulture. Okay, the vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, clarifies and reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic, aggressive. To bring into balance, clean your space, sage. So the vulture, again, is saying, you're out of balance. This is destructive. This is harmful to you. You need to clean this out and bring yourself back into balance, and you will be renewed, be new. It's just a wonderful energy. So I hope this resonates with you. If it does, I would love to hear any comments that you would have. If you haven't already done so and you feel called to subscribe to my channel, that would be absolutely wonderful. Click the bell button if you want to get notifications when new videos go up. Like this video if you like this video. So I am sending you so much love and so much peace and happiness, and I really hope that this reading resonated for you and that you're able to clear away anything that's clouding your vision so that you can see your life more clearly and really make it into something beautiful. So thank you so much for being here. Okay, so this is the reading for Group 3. Group 3 is the Black Tourmaline. So, Spirit, if we could get some messages for Group 3, please, with regard to what is clouding their vision and how can they clear this. What is clouding their vision right now? Let's get some information on that to start with. What is it that's clouding their vision and not allowing them to see clearly? Okay. we got the Eight of Wands, and this card is talking about you are having kind of tunnel vision. There is something that is that could be open to you. There is a possibility, an option, an opportunity that could be open to you, but you're kind of stuck on one thing. You may not be seeing the bigger picture. The Ten of Swords is saying that you're kind of suffering with this inability to look outside of or look beside what it is that you're focused on right now. You're kind of focused on something that seems like it's closed off to you. You're kind of stuck in feeling like your options are closed. You're stuck. You're trapped. You're feeling trapped. And it's causing you a lot of pain, and perhaps you feel like someone else is doing this to you. That it's not really in your control. And you may be feeling like you are just really kind of ungrounded. That it's almost not worth the work to get yourself out of this situation. It might seem like it's just too much. And that you will never, you can't get there anyway. But you're not really seeing the situation clearly, I feel like. Well, obviously that's what the reading is about. So Spirit, if you could please give us some more clarification for group number 3 on what it is that's clouding their vision right now. What is causing them not to be able to see clearly? Please, Spirit, if you could give us some more clarity on what it is that they are, what is clouding their vision, what they're not able to see clearly. What is clouding group 2's vision and keeping them from seeing clearly, please, Spirit? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, so we got a couple more swords cards. We got the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. So with this card, I feel like it kind of almost confirms this 8 of Wands, that you're not seeing something because you're too focused on the situation at hand. There may be something around the corner here that you just aren't seeing or can't see. You don't have all the information, or you're not looking. You may be just sort of, and maybe not necessarily on purpose, but you might just be so wrapped up in a particular perspective that you don't see that there's another side to it. The Eight of Swords would kind of lend credence to that as well. You know, you're sort of laser focused on this, that is what you can see right now, but it may not be, and it probably isn't. In fact, it definitely isn't the whole story, but it's what you're allowing yourself to see right now. And whether that is because you're afraid to look elsewhere, or you just haven't considered the option, I'm not sure. The other card that we got is the Justice card. And so it could be that this situation is making you feel like you're being punished, and maybe you feel like you deserve to be punished. And that might be part of the reason that you're kind of feeling trapped in this energy, because you may not feel like you deserve to get out of this situation, whatever it is. And you may not feel like there is a way to get out of this. You may not feel like you have the means or the backing to get out of whatever the situation is right now. Spirit, can you give us some more clarity on the Justice card and the Seven of Pentacles? The Seven of Pentacles here is a little, I'm not quite sure what that's trying to tell us. If you could give us some more clarity on one or both of those cards, please, that would be great. Not the whole deck, please. Just one or two cards here, please. Spirit, help me. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Spirit, some more clarity for this, please. This energy of the Justice card and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay. So we got the Eight of Pentacles to go with the Seven of Pentacles, as well as the Three of Pentacles. So we got a lot of pentacles here. We're talking about some grounded energy, some earth energy, or some material energy here. So I feel like maybe your block with this is that you may not feel like you have the means to leave whatever the situation is. I feel like you might not feel that you would have enough resources if you left the situation, and that might be what is causing you not to be able to see outside of this situation. The Eight and the Three of Pentacles, you know, the Eight of Pentacles oftentimes talks of kind of stockpiling some things. It can talk of, you know, putting in the hard work as well. But I think in this situation, perhaps it's saying that either A, you have more than you think you do, or B, you may not need as much as you think. You know, that could be what the energy is saying here, that in order that the Pentacles might be saying you don't feel like you can leave this situation without enough to move forward, to move on. But this may be saying that you don't need as much as you think you need, or you have more than you think you have. The Three of Pentacles also can be talking about that you've got some support, and not so much necessarily emotional support, although I'm not saying that you don't have emotional support, but this is basically kind of almost saying like a work family, or it could be, you know, that you have an unexpected place to stay if you need to, that there are some people who aren't necessarily in your immediate circle or in your, you know, your home life or your relationships, but they're people that are in your life that might surprisingly be able to provide you at least sort of a temporary respite if you need it. They might be able to provide you, if you need some money, they might be able to loan you some money. If you need a place to stay for a while, they might be able to do that for you. And it might be kind of surprising that these individuals might step up. So maybe along with that energy of not seeing your entire situation, keep in mind that there may be some individuals that that maybe you're friendly with, that you haven't really trusted in the past. And I don't mean that you distrust them. I just mean that you may not have opened up to them. You may not, and maybe you don't open up to a lot of people, but there are some individuals who perhaps you're kind of reserved, and so they've really never, you've not sat down and talked with them, and they've not sat down, you know, and talked in a deep way with you. But that doesn't mean that they're not in your corner, and they may, you know, they may be the kind of people that are just kind of giving you your space because that's what they want to do to respect you. But they, if they knew that you might need help, they would step up, and they would be fine with that. It wouldn't, you know, they would be happy to do that for you. So, and so the Emperor card is coming up here. The Emperor is somebody who is a very powerful individual, and I'm almost getting a feeling that this might be the problem. This might be an individual. I mean, typically the Emperor is a kind and loving and you know, rich individual, but Emperor is also very powerful, and perhaps in your case there might be an intolerant individual in your life that is creating this sort of a feeling of being trapped. So, you know, that could be what the Emperor energy is talking about here. And it came up together with the Tower, which is part of the reason that I think that this may be an unsustainable energy for you. The Tower is talking about you're kind of in a position now where things are going to start falling apart. You've kind of shut yourself into this tower, which again talks about all this energy over here that you're kind of feeling trapped. And this card definitely talks about being trapped. You're trapped in a situation that's going to fall apart soon. It's untenable. You can't stay there. And so at this point, you need to make a choice. You're either going to fall with the tower and get crushed, or you can jump. You know, if you do jump out of the tower, it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be, you know, that pleasant, obviously, but it's survivable. And it will put you in a place away from the tower. You will no longer be, you know, stuck in this situation that is falling down around you and blowing up around you. And even though it might be a hard place to start from, at least you're free of this. So, you know, that energy right there, I think is again saying that you're in a situation that you may need to get out of, that's causing you a lot of pain and suffering, and but that you're not seeing that there are alternatives, that there are ways for you to escape this situation. So let's see. I think we need some other cards here. I think we're going to use these. So, Spirit, can you give group 3 some help on how they can best move forward? Or perhaps what is the way for them to go? What should they, how are they going to clear out this fog and be able to see where they need to go, or how they can move forward with this? Can you give them some guidance on how to escape the situation? How can they get out of this? How can they clear away the clouds, whatever is blocking their understanding of the situation, so that they can improve their situation? Please and thank you. Too much here. All right, so okay, let's take a look here. Okay, so we got the Temperance card. Temperance card. Okay, so Temperance talks about kind of finding a middle ground, and sort of evening out the situation. So it could be that this is, this might be talking about your extreme view of how you were trapped within this situation. It could be the extremeness of the situation, but it's telling you that somehow things need to be moderated. You need to get out of the extremes. And let's see if we've got some more cards here that give us a little more guidance on this. We got the Prince of Discs. And the Prince of Discs is basically the Prince of Pentacles. And again, this is talking about being grounded. Princes are, I think in this deck, princes refer to knights, if I'm not mistaken. So this individual is very, very sturdy and strong and protective. So this might actually be talking of a particular individual that you need to turn to for some help. Someone who is salt of the earth, steady, always there for you. They're not flashy. They're not, they're not somebody who's going to pick a fight. They're not somebody who's going to tell somebody off. They're not, they're not somebody who comes off as being flashy and exciting and an intellectual. They're just a good, solid individual who's always there and who's always steady. So with regard to leaving this situation or changing your situation, you might need to turn to whoever this individual is that is very strong and steady and always there for you. You might not you might not even think about them just because they just are always just kind of there. They might be able to help you kind of moderate the situation. They might be able to help you understand, or help, if there's another individual involved in this situation, understand that it's not a tenable situation. It's not something that's working out, and it's better for everybody to just get out of the situation. And so then we also got the Princess of Cups. And so this card deals with just sort of a feeling of, it could be like forgiving someone. And by forgiving them, you know, there's a lot of times people think that forgiving somebody is to go up to them and say, hey, I forgive you, and then not holding them responsible for what they did. And that's not the case at all. What forgiving might talk to them about is unburdening your heart. What this talks of is forgiveness in the sake of unburdening your heart. So basically, you know, maybe you need to forgive them. Maybe you need to forgive yourself. Maybe you need to step back and say, you know, I shouldn't have stayed in this relationship or this job or whatever it is as long as I did. It was unfair to myself. It was harming myself. Or if this individual has been harming you, or this job has been harming you, you know, it might have an agenda that is not what you are looking at. It might not be from the point of view of how this thing is relating to you. It seems very harmful. But if this situation or individual is focused somewhere else, that it's almost more of an after effect that it harms you. Or perhaps they have got some harm in their life that colors the way they react or act. And they may just be acting out because of past hurt, and they don't even really see you in the equation, perhaps. So I think this card is speaking of forgiving whatever happened to you, just so that you can be okay with it, so you can be stronger, because this is talking about strengthening your heart, and that's the way to do that. Again, we got the Emperor card, and again, in this energy, you know, I'm seeing he's holding a bomb, basically, that's about to go off. So, you know, again, we're getting this really strong, overpowering energy with these Emperor cards that we're getting. So, you know, I'm feeling like this is the individual that might be causing harm, or the situation that might be causing harm. It's just sort of this overwhelming power that doesn't really take you into account. It just sort of runs over the top of you. And again, that's not always the typical meaning of the Emperor card. In fact, it's usually not. But in this reading, I just feel like it really is. We've got the Four of Cups, which I'm not even sure belongs in this reading. I don't know if this just came out with the cards. The Four of Cups, in this case, it talks about, the card says luxury, and it kind of talks about sort of an overflowing of your cups. And so again, this really isn't making a lot of sense for this particular reading. I'm not sure if this card maybe just got stuck to another and came out. If it does have anything to do with this reading, you know, it might perhaps have to do with the Emperor card. It might have to do with that individual hoping for more luxury in their life than what they are ending up with, and perhaps throwing blame on you, which could be why we got the Eight of Cups, which is, you know, it's all of these cups. So many of them are empty or partially empty. And so, you know, it could be that this was the hope that individual had, but this was more the reality of it. And not only is it not what they had hoped for, it's not as abundant as they had hoped for, but things are starting to kind of run out. And so, you know, it's perhaps a little bit of a card of kind of desperation, and things are kind of starting to get scarce there too. So it could be that, you know, this energy is just not sustaining itself. It's burning out. It's not. It's pulling in too much angry emotion because of unfulfilled dreams, and so perhaps that's kind of what's getting spilled over onto you. And so that's why, you know, with this Princess of Cups, you need to clear that away. And the best way to do that, you know, is to forgive and to step away, to remove yourself and to forgive. So we have got, again, I think, no, I'm sorry, that was a different reading, but we've got the Strength card. We've got the Strength card that came up. And so, you know, this card is saying that you have the inner strength to do this. And you are definitely stronger than you believe yourself to be, which in part is why this group of people will step up for you, or these individuals, or this individual, as well as this Prince of Discs, this individual, this Salt of the Earth individual. They will step up for you because they see that inner fortitude. They see that you have that strength. You see that you have that, and it's a strength that's like a kindness. It's not like being like super strong and being able to lift a lot of stuff. It's an inner strength that allows you to continue to be whole even when you are, even when you're damaged. It allows you to be kind to others. It allows you to give to those who need it. You know, if there's a puppy that is shivering out on the street in the wintertime and doesn't have a home, and you don't have room, and you're not supposed to have pets in your apartment, but that's not going to stop you. You're going to take this puppy in, even if you don't have enough for yourself. You're going to take in this other individual, because that's just the kind of strength that you have. You have the strength to be kind. And so this is just saying that, you know, through all of this, and needing to maybe, you know, it seems like needing to get out from under this untenable situation that you are having trouble, you know, seeing a way out. Always remember that you've got this inner strength that's going to help you do that. So you can overcome all of this. So hopefully that's helped you get some clarity on this vision, this being sort of clouded. And so let's take a look at the oracle cards that we have here. And the, okay, perfect. So the crystal ally card is for Shungite. And Shungite is like the quintessential cleanser and clearer of negativity, of poison, in the crystal world. I have actually Shungite sitting here on my desk because it can help absorb electromagnetic frequencies that can cause, you know, damage to free radicals, or cause free radicals. Anyway, it's one of the strongest, most amazing cleansers in the crystal world. So this is helping you clear out of this poisonous situation. It's also a very, very good grounding energy. So let's see what the book has to say about this Shungite. So it says, when we incarnate into a physical body on the earth plane, we experience a whole host of remarkable states of being that we cannot experience in our native state of pure consciousness. Here in the material plane, we experience energies such as electromagnetic force, which is light. We experience thought, which then takes on a form to become a physical experience. None of these states are part of our experience on the higher planes because they exist only in the physical world. One of our greatest lessons in coming into a body on earth is how to manifest form from energy. All of our physical experience is a representation of our energy and consciousness entering into the material state. Shungite is a master teacher regarding the process of giving energy form. Through its unique characteristics, it instructs about the nature and importance of structure. Shungite is not a crystal or even a mineral. It is a carbon mineraloid with no internal crystalline structure. In this aspect, it represents the void of potential and the formless state from which all of physicality arises. Within this structureless mineraloid lie the seeds of manifestation in the form of carbon fullerenes, these seed forms of carbon representing the building blocks of life on Earth. So in addition to, being just this amazing cleanser and clearing away all of this poison and stuff, it also holds within it the potential to be whatever you want to be, to manifest whatever you want to have, to bring out of pure energy, which may be talking about this idea in your head that you're stuck, that you're trapped. This is, Shungite allows you to bring in the energy and to actually make it into form, to make it what you need it to be, whatever you need it to be. So you can take this situation, this situation that's crumbling down around you, that you just can't stay in, and actually transform it, transmute it into something that is going to be much more hopeful for you, much more hopeful for you and abundant. It may take some time, it may take some fortitude, but you have that ability. And so, okay, the spirit animal card that we drew, or animal spirit card, is the cosmic egg. And this is the second one of these types of cards that I've gotten today with this reading. So this is kind of an amazing card. And this, again, I think is talking about, manifesting out of the, this energy realm. So let's take a look at and see what the book says on this one. I think that might be the last card in the deck, in fact. Yes. Okay. So the cosmic egg is all about completion, harmony, the infinite within the finite. The cosmic egg is the final card in the journey of the animal spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace, we experience self-realization, a sense of contentment, and one spontaneously arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. So, this is talking about these self-limiting beliefs over here that you feel trapped. That's lifted for you. And you can then realize a sense of contentment and self-realization. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others, even if our encounter with the card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness. Its potential energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. So the cosmic egg is basically saying you have the ability to transmute this stuckness, this false sense of being trapped, into like the most amazing potential ever. I mean, this card is amazing. This is the very last card in that deck, and it basically talks of unlimited potential. So get yourself out of this situation. Call in whatever resources you need, even resources that you don't realize you have. And once you heal that situation, you will have unlimited potential. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. I hope you resonate with this reading. I hope you are able to find your way through this darkness and come out the other side with this amazing, beautiful, absolutely unlimited potential energy. You deserve it. So I'm sending you love and happiness and joy and peace. And I am so happy that you were here on this journey with me. And if this reading resonated with you, I would love to hear about it in the comments. If you're enjoying this channel and you haven't already done so, I would be grateful if you would subscribe to my channel. Click the bell button if you want to get notifications on when new videos are uploaded. Like the video if you like the video. And I am just so happy that you've been here with me. And thank you very much. Bye-bye.